with you.
Hey, you came back. So, normally when I do ribs, I put them on the smoker. I rarely do I grill them, and even rarer than that, do I bake them. But today I'm gonna bake them. Okay, so you can see how I do that. I'm going to be putting a bourbon barbecue sauce on them, but that video won't be out until a couple of days on how I made the sauce. But for today, this is what we got going. That look nice. Hopefully I don't drop it. Hope you stay tuned. See how I made it. Mouth all watering, drooling. But I'm going to take a bite here. See where we look at this. Look at that. Take a bite. Yep. If you're a fan of bourbon, this sauce is going to hook you up. Every time. I mean, now, watch. Hey, this is Shrashira. That's the best elevator music I ever heard. Alright, so it's real simple. Start here from the top. We have our ribs. I cut them into St. Louis style cut. You know why? The peanut gallery. Here I have about a half a teaspoon crushed red pepper flakes. Here I have about 2 tablespoons of canola oil. Here I have about a tablespoon of granulated garlic. Tablespoon of granulated onion. We have about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. We have a 1/4 cup of brown sugar here. It's packed. We have about a teaspoon of salt, coarse kosher salt. A couple teaspoons of black pepper. We have about almost a tablespoon of paprika. And then here we have about a tablespoon and a half of dried mustard. Now, I'm using so much because I really love the flavor. Okay, let's get this mixed up. All right, so add our salt. Salt goes in. Crushed red pepper flake. Pepper. Mustard powder. And the garlic, granulated garlic. Granulated onion, paprika, and our brown sugar. All the dry ingredients, let's mix them up. Even though technically the brown sugar falls under the wet ingredients, but in this application, it's going in with the dry. Alright, now let's get the wet. Now for our wet, and our oil. Okay. Apple cider vinegar. As you can see, the oil and vinegar doesn't mix, just like they say. But we're going to give it a little mix. Now if you do this fast enough, if I had a bigger container, I can get it to emulsify. A little better than what's happening right here. So there we go. See that? That'll work. Now let's get the ribs ready. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, we have our ribs on some aluminum foil here. We're going to put our oil and vinegar. Okay. Get it rubbed in. And this is going to act as a binder for us today. Other side. Now supply our rub generously. Turn this guy over. Now we're going to kind of push the ribs together. All right. Now we're going to wrap these up. All right. I think what I'm going to do is turn it over. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm using heavy duty, so this is a fold, nice and tight. And this is going to go into a 375-degree oven. Now, you want to make sure that your oven is preheated to 375. Now, people always have a question about aluminum foil usage. Okay? Now, as you saw, I had the aluminum foil with the shiny side up, right? So the meat is in contact with the shiny side. Some people live by that. Some people say the shiny side should be on the outside. Well, here's a little fun fact for you. Doesn't really matter, okay? The reason you have a shiny side and a dull side is because during manufacturing, as they're milling it, when they're pressing it out, what happens, you will always have a shiny side and a dull side, okay? But it doesn't matter how you wrap it, you're gonna get the same results, okay? But some people, you know, the brain meats, they were taught a certain way. They have a certain belief. So we're going to let them have that. And they're going to enjoy it. But the little secret is, it really doesn't matter too much. So let's get this in the oven. All right, this goes into center, 375-degree oven. There we go. We're going to let this cook for about an hour and a half. Now, we're going to let this cook for about an hour and a half. At about an hour and 20 minutes or so, we're going to check it for temperature. You want it to be at least 165, right? But I'm going to be shooting for like 180, maybe even 185 is what I'm shooting for. And then we're going to glaze it. I'm going to make a nice little glaze. I'll show you how to do that. But the glaze recipe itself will be in the next video, most likely the video right after this one, okay? So I won't make this video too long, but let's get this going. Be back to check it in about an hour and 20. Hopefully it'll be completely done in an hour and a half. All right, so it's been about an hour and a half. I'm gonna carefully unwrap this. It's gonna be steamy, so be careful when you do this. Don't burn yourself. Smells good. See how we're looking here. Okay. I just want to give a quick temperature check here on the meat. All right. So we got, 180 in some spots. We have 160 in some spots. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put this back in the oven. Now this is going to go back in the oven for roughly about 20 minutes, and then we're going to glaze it. All right, now this bad boy is ready to be basted. We're a sauce, a barbecue sauce, the homemade barbecue sauce. Now this is a bourbon barbecue sauce. Make sure we get it all over. Okay, I'm going to put this back in the oven for 15 minutes. Then we're going to do one more basting. Okay, it's been 20 minutes.
Back in the oven. 15 minutes.
All right, so our ribs are ready here. Now we're gonna let these rest. I would say about a good 15, 20 minutes. And then we're gonna plate them up. Yep, look at it. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Oh yeah, look at that. They're not delicious. Yep, baked pork spare ribs cut in a St. Louis style, right? We have a nice bourbon sauce, bourbon barbecue sauce. And again, this barbecue sauce is going to be coming out in a couple days, so you can see how I made it. I hope you enjoy this. If you do, like, comment, subscribe. Hey, definitely, hey, join the peanut gallery. Hey, and also, hit me up on Instagram so you can see what I got coming up next. That being said, this Shrashira, look at this deliciousness. I'm out.